Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, Lessonade. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to find the square root of perfect square numbers. So let's get started. Okay, so now let's look at this example, square root of 729. Before we do anything, first let's look at this table over here. So if this question ends in 1, the answer must end in 1 or 9. If the question ends in 4, the answer must end in 2 or 8. If the question ends in 5, the answer must also end in 5. If the question ends in 6, the answer must end in 4 or 6. And finally, if the question ends in 9, the answer must end in 3 or 7. Okay, so our first step is to look at what number our question ends in. As you could see, our question ends in 9. So the answer must end in 3 or 7. So write the 3 and the 7. Okay, now let's cross out the last two digits and go on to the second step. The second step, we are going to see where this 7 is going to fit in the squares table. As we all know, it's going to fit in between 2 squared and 3 squared. Okay, so it's going to fit in between 2 and 3. We have to choose a smaller number, which is going to be 2. So write the 2 and bring this 3 down. Join it up with the number 2, which is going to be 23. Again, write the 2, join the 7, 27. Okay, so our answer is either going to be 23 or 27. So now we know that. To determine which one it is, we have to go on to the third step and the final one. So with this, firstly, we are going to multiply this 2 by its next highest number. So bring this 2 down. 2 times 3 is going to be 6 because 3 is 2's next highest number. So 6. Now we have to compare the 6 to the 7. Okay, so is the 7 greater or less than 6? If the 7 is greater than 6, and it is, you have to choose the larger number. So in this case, the larger number is 27 and not 23. So the right answer is 27. So square root of 729 is 27. So well done guys for getting this one right. I will explain this question to you guys once again. So firstly, we look at the last digit, which is going to be 9. Because it's 9, answer must end in 3 or 7. So write the 3 and the 7. Okay, so second step. Before we do that, cross out the last two digits. Okay, so second step, 7. Let's look at where the 7 ends, fits in the squares table. Fits in between 2 and 3 squared, so write a 2. So we're going to write this 2, bring this 3 down, join them up, 23. Same here, bring the 7 down, join them with the 2, 27. Okay, so now that's the second step. We know it's either going to be 23 or 27. So now bring this 2 down, times this 2 by its next highest number to 2 times 3, which is going to give us 6. So compare this 6 with the 7. So is the 7 greater or less than 6? The 7 is greater than 6, so we had to choose the greater number out of 23 and 27, which gave us 27. So the answer was 27 and not 23. So well done guys for getting this one right. So now let's go on to our next example. Okay, so now let's look at this example, which is square root of 1936. So firstly, we are going to look at the last digit, which is going to be 6. If the question ends in 6, the answer must end in 4 or 6. So first step, write the 4 and the 6. Okay, so now let's go on to our second step. Before we go on to our second step, cross out the last two digits. Okay, so we're going to see where this 19 fits in the squares table. It's going to fit in between 4 squared and 5 squared. So between 16 and 25. We have to choose a smaller number out of 4 and 5, which is 4, so write the 4. So now write the 4, join this 4 with the other 4 to give us 44. Okay, so now write the 4 again, join this with the 6 to give us 46. So now we have to see whether it's 44 or 46. To do this, we have to go on to our final step. So third step, take this 4. Okay, so 4 times its next highest number, which is 5. 4 times 5 is going to be 20. Compare the 20 with the 19. So 19 and 20. Okay, is the 19 greater or less than 20? The 19 is less than 20. So we have to choose a smaller number, which is going to be 44 and not 46. So our answer is 44. So well done guys for getting this one right. Okay, so now let's look at this example, which is square root of 3844. So don't worry guys if you didn't understand this yet. By the time we finish with this example, you guys will definitely get it. Okay, first step, let's look at the last digit. Last digit is 4 in this case. So if the question ends in 4, the answer must end in 2 or 8. So write the 2 and then the 8. Okay, so now cross out the last two digits. Now we are going to look at the 38. So where does this 38 fit in the squares table? As we all know, it's going to fit in between 6 squared and 7 squared. So that's going to be our second step. we have to choose a smaller number, which is going to be 6. So we are going to write this 6, and then we are going to bring this 2 down, so which is going to be 62, and then we are also going to bring this 8 down, which is going to be 68. So our answer is either going to be 62 or 68. Okay, so now we have to do 6 times its next highest number, which is 7. If you guys are wondering where I got the 6 from, well, the 6 is the same as this 6 above. Okay, so that's where I got the 6 from. So 6 times 7, as we all know, is going to be 42. Compare this 42 with the 38. So 38, is the 38 greater or less than the 42? It's obviously less than the 42. So we have to choose a smaller number, which is going to be 62. So 62 is going to be this answer, and 68 is not going to be the answer. So we know our answer is 62. So well done, guys, for getting this one right. And I hope you guys understood everything so far. So now let's go on to the next example. So now let's look at this example, which is 10404 square root. Okay, so first let's look at the last digit. Last digit is obviously 4. So if the question ends in 4, the answer must end in 2 or 8. Okay, so write the 2 and then the 8. Okay, so we know our answer ends in 2 or 8. Of course, of the last 2 digits. Work with 104. Where is 104 going to fit in the squares table? As we all know, it's going to fit in between 10 and 11. We have to choose a smaller number, so we are going to choose 10. Okay, so write the 10, and then the 2, and then with the 8. So 108 and 102. So we got the 2 from here, and we got the 8 from here. Okay, so now we have to choose between 102 and 108. To determine this, we have to go to the final step. The third step, we are going to multiply 10 by its next highest number, so we have to do 10 times 11, which is going to be 110. Okay, compare this 110 with this 104. So is 104 greater or less than 110? As we all know, it's less than. So we have to choose a smaller number out of these two. The smaller number is obviously 102. Okay, so the answer is 102 and not 108. So well done, guys, for getting this one right. So that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you want to see videos more like this one, subscribe to our channel and turn on the bell notification so you don't miss any new uploads. And I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching.